On today's episode of Baking My Songs,
there's no Jimmy. There's never been a Jimmy. We are going to be using vegetables that I've picked from the garden. Background singers are just kind of off doing their own thing. Just sounds so good. Welcome back to another episode of Baking My Songs. We are doing things a little bit differently today. If you've watched my previous videos, I'm always baking a sweet treat, and I love doing that because I love having a little sweet treat in the middle of the day, in the morning, whenever I'm filming these videos. But today I want to do something a little bit different because the song that we are discussing is going to be a little bit different as well. So the song we are discussing today is my rendition of Merry Christmas Baby, made famous by Charles Brown, and we are going to be baking a baked ziti. I thought it'd be fun if we are talking about a song that I didn't write. It's a song that I recorded for my Christmas EP. It would also be fun to bake something a little bit different, so that's why I chose more of a dinner dish rather than a sweet treat. Also, for this baked ziti, we are going to be using vegetables that I've picked from the garden. I'm so excited to utilize these. I have so many things here. We're specifically going to be using the cucumber. I know baked ziti usually does zucchini, but we have lots of cucumber, so we're doing cucumber and tomatoes. So excited to dive into this song and make this a really yummy meal. So let's get to it. So this song was originally recorded by a group called Johnny Moore's Three Blazers. It was a trio made up of Johnny Moore, Charles Brown, and Eddie Williams, and they were popular back in like the 40s and 50s. So this song, Merry Christmas Baby, was released back in the 40s, and I think it's so crazy that that song released 80 years ago is still so popular, and people nowadays are still covering it and keeping it alive. You've definitely heard this song before. It's been covered by Otis Redding, the Turners, Ike and Tina Turner, Melissa Etheridge, Chuck Berry, me. But it wasn't until I was listening to different songs I was deciding to cover for my Christmas EP when I came across Zach Williams' Christmas EP, and I heard his rendition of this song, and I really liked the way that he orchestrated it and the sound, the different kind of sound that he brought to it. I feel like in a way, sonically, it was different from the others, even though this is originally an R&B song, but anybody can cover it. Any type of genre can bring it to life. And so I just kind of thought it was cool, the instrumentation and just kind of his own soul that he put into this song. But I feel like you can definitely hear the similarities in our versions because I did look to his rendition for inspiration for this song. But what drew me to this song just in general was the simplicity of it. I just like that it's a Christmas song wishing your significant other a Merry Christmas. I just think it's so cute. Thinking about it being in the 40s, there definitely wasn't a song like this back then, and I don't even think now there's a song just simply wishing the person you're with Merry Christmas. I'm not even sure how many cucumbers we are going to need for this. Will Bentley, who I've spoken about before, we wrote Cowboy Looks Good on Him, If Prayer Had Prime, Stupid Friends. He is on background vocals for this song, and I feel like his tone just in general is really great, but especially for this song, just the soul and how it complements my voice. I just really love his background vocals, what he added to this song. Especially the breakdown part of the song, he kind of just goes off and does his own thing. He's not matching my vocal. He's just kind of off doing his own thing in the background, and I really like that. To me, it really kind of draws into that R&B sound where a lot of times in that genre, background singers are just kind of off doing their own thing, and it really adds to the story or the song. But it very well could have been a decision that was made on purpose because my good friend Quentin Davis produced this song once again. He did all the other songs I just said, Cowboy, Prime, Stupid Friends, and he is so musically genius that that probably was done on purpose, which is why that little tiny part in the song just sounds so good. We also had Quentin's dad play on this song. He was playing bass, and there is such a funny part in this song that probably if you were just listening to it, you wouldn't even hear it, but there's a really funny little moment in the song. Quentin thought it'd be really fun if I just kind of ad-libbed telling someone to take it away, like do a little solo. And he just shouted out the name Jimmy, which there's no Jimmy. There's never been a Jimmy. And I just said, come on, Jimmy. And that was just part of the song. And then Quentin was like, well, let's actually say Novell. But it was just more of an in the moment thing where I just said it, and what you hear in the song is just the first one that I said. And I was just laughing so hard because it came out of nowhere, and just the excitement in my voice, it was just more of a you had to be there moment. But he tried to get me to say, come on, Novell, but it just didn't come out the same way, and I was laughing too hard. I've minced some garlic, cut up the cucumber and tomatoes. The recipe called for 1 28-ounce can of tomatoes, but I'm not doing that today. I just want to use what we have because I do not want this to go to waste, and it probably will taste even better using the real stuff. So I'm going to transfer it to the pan, and then it goes in a different pan. Okay, this is supposed to simmer for about 10 minutes. While this simmers, let's go out to the herb garden and get some fresh basil. All right, final step before this goes in the oven. We are going to make 2 layers of our baked ziti. 1 layer down, cheese on top, another layer down, cheese on top, and then I'm also gonna put some fresh basil on top as well. I think this is gonna be really yummy, and so far this has been really fun doing a different type of dish instead of a dessert. It honestly looks like mac and cheese, but it's definitely a lot healthier than mac and cheese with all the veggies and meat in here. Well, the bite I just got basically was mac and cheese because I don't think there was much meat on there, but hey, tastes good to me. If this whole thing was mac and cheese, it would be gone just as fast. This was very, very good. It has a little spice to it too. I'm not sure where that's coming from. A little spicy. I really liked doing this episode of Baking My Songs differently, so thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, because the song is not public domain, I cannot share my rendition of this song in the YouTube video, so you're just gonna have to go stream it wherever you listen to music. I will link the recipe that I used in the description below. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.
You can listen to my cover of Merry Christmas Baby off of my Christmas EP, Christmas on the Highway, wherever you stream your music.